And welcome, fellow Crusaders, to our live discussion, the Itty Bitty Nerdy Committee. I'm Beastie Boy.
I'm Table.
I'm Red.
And it is I, Shino Brando.
And we'll be discussing recent news from across the multiverse, live from video games, anime, comics, and more. And stick around after the news to hear us discuss a newly released comic of the week.
All right, so looks like I'm starting off this week with some fun news.
Yay!
MCU stuff, yay! MCU stuff, yay!
About time.
Right, so we get some word on some releases. Some things got shifted around yet again. Purpose reason being, it's most likely to be to coincide with home release, because theater outlook not so great right about now. During the 2021 Pancake marathon going on. So dates that have been shifted are Black Widow now has been moved from May to July 9th. Shang-Chi is now September 3rd. Eternals is now November 5th. And Spider-Man 3, which the title is, it will be December 17th. So that got moved up a little early, I think. It was supposed to come out later in the month, but now I think it's a week ahead. So you have some stuff to look forward to. And when we had nothing, now we have 4 in 1 year, in less than a year.
Hey man, it's all Marvel. I don't give a damn. It's something
Right.
for the fuel. I love it.
For a rapid 6 months, you're gonna be getting
What?
it's gonna be crazy times. Like you're gonna get like one every other month, every 2 months or so.
That is some solid stuff.
Hey,
Yeah,
before
man.
we continue on to talking more about some Marvel, let's thank our newest follower, Weebeard Wayne. Thank you very much for the follow there, kind sir.
Wow. Welcome to the Crusade, Crusader.
Yeah.
Right on.
Welcome to our night of tech issues.
Yeah. One of those. In other news, on the other side of the map, the DCEU stuff, who just had like a nice little pat in the back with the Snyder cut. Not sure if we're getting anything out of that ever again, but what is going on in that studio? I don't know if you guys have heard, but Helen Mirren, who's already been in a DC project, Red. She joins the cast of Shazam 2, aka Shazam Fear of the Gods. She'll be playing Hespera, daughter of Atlas, and she's gonna be a villain of the movie. So, yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see how that develops. Zach Levy and the entire cast will return from the first film for the sequel for sure. In other news, on the other side, speaking of his Shazam, his villain, Black Adam, that movie is in the works still. Pierce Brosnan, one of my favorite James Bonds in ever, joins the cast of Shazam.
Arguably the best
Dr.
James
Fate.
Bond.
Probably, I am gonna put it up there. He's if I have to choose like even like a top 5, I can't do it. If you're gonna do a top 3, he is definitely in that top 3 for sure.
Mhm.
Along with him, it will be sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but when I hear Pierce Brosnan, I just think of Mamma Mia. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that version of Dr. Fate.
You know what? But that speaks on his talents, right? Like he's got such a range for someone who seems to just be like, like he looks like he did like the person who will be like
He's
typecasted
everybody's
as-
grandpa
as-
kind of thing.
yeah, like a typecasted 007 type of guy. Like you expect him to play like Brit guy and everything else, but it shows you like how much he can play around, even with like comedy and stuff. He's really malleable. So should be good for Dr. Fate. With him, you have Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, which I know Red's all happy about. Noah Centineo, Noah Centineo as Adam Smasher, and Quintessa Swindell as Cyclone, and of course Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam.
Very neat.
Right
If
on.
you give me a hot second, the entire JSA cast can be on screen. There it is.
Oh yeah, run your thing, man. Yeah. And still news develops on that too, so just keep waiting it out. Things are rolling, and like I said, they want to let everybody know what's going on bit by bit, but not give too much away. So they're keeping you involved, right? So big things are coming through.
Not only does this Hawkman and this entire JSA team look like something out of Jeff Johns' wet dream, but also it's going to feature a transgender character, which we have yet to see anything of.
Yeah,
which is cool.
yeah.
Who is the granddaughter of the best security guard for the JSA one ever had. Ma Hunkle. I will
That's
continue to
right.
bring up her existence until she exists in a cinematic universe.
Well, you're gonna be getting Maxine Hunkle, so that's a plus.
I'm in. I'm sold. You don't gotta sell me on any more JSA stuff.
There you
Oh
go.
wait.
There you go. In other news, I thought Invincible is supposed to be releasing tomorrow, but I'm being told it's released today for some reason.
It is out literally right now.
Now, so Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker's Invincible comic book has been made into an animated series, which I thought was starting tomorrow. That's what I had for a release date, but it came out one day early. So check that out. It's on Amazon Prime. This one is one of those big ones that features a huge cast, mostly from The Walking Dead, as the voice talent.
Really?
Oh yeah. Invincible takes the superhero trope and turns it on itself with a surprise twist at the end. That'll probably shock most of you. I have the run here. I read it. Man, the book is wild. So it's not the conventional superhero book. It's out there. And I encourage you all to check it out because it's a complete series. So there's nothing for them to like deviate from. They have a book from, they have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and the end is spectacular. So you got to definitely check that out. And in other news, just a fresh reminder: Godzilla vs. Kong releases on the 31st. That is next Wednesday on HBO Max. Crave for us homies in Canada. The Brawl to End Them All is on Wednesday. Don't forget, check that out too. And that is me for this week.
I thought The Brawl to End Them All was on the Wii.
I don't know about you. I just want them to hug.
You know what? You know what, Table, though? They may hug right at the very end once they combine their efforts to defeat the evil mecha.
They might.
All of mechas.
They might.
I'll cry. It'll be great.
Listen, okay, so, like, you blew that through pretty quick. So, right here, right now, all four of us, who wins? Go.
Godzilla, man.
I know it's gotta be Godzilla. I just want to see him
Godzilla
fight. I just want to see King Kong like throw hands at least like good visual, like updated CGI.
Oh, for sure, it's gonna look fucking fantastic. That hairy motherfucker's gonna be all over that screen, man.
Hear me
I know
out.
he's gonna lose, but I just want to see this happen.
Hear me out, okay? No, hear me out. There's no
depiction of Kong with a giant fucking axe. Where did that axe even come from?
They meet it.
So, like I was about to tell you. So, from what I'm seeing, from what I'm piecing together, from every time they show a trailer or something, it looks like Zilla is kind of mind controlled ish. So he's not his usual self. So that way you get yourself an antagonist of the film, because Kong's not gonna be the bad guy in this one. So they're gonna grab Kong to kind of counter him because Kong's strong, of course, right?
Kong's strong,
I think, right? They'll give him that fucking axe, right? The two of them battle like day in, day out the entire time, because they're not gonna have a clear victor. Then someone's gonna break out the fucking mecha Godzilla, Mecha King Ghidorah, and Kong and Zilla gonna have to combine their fucking efforts. And then Mothra, why did you say that name? That's his Moth's name. You know what I mean? They're gonna do it.
His moth girlfriend.
I get it. Listen, if you are in our chat and you believe that King Kong is gonna win, all the power to you. I'm sorry for what you're about to witness about a week from now. Listen, it's an atomic gecko. Pardon me, Table?
If you think Kong is going to win, I just want to ask you what movies you've been watching, because it can't be any of the Godzilla ones.
Well,
I don't know.
I want to just share with you that in 1963, when they had their first matchup, Kong won.
Huh. No, I'm joking.
They might, the creators might be looking to even the score 1-1, so they'll do another one.
Here's the thing. So in the film, Zilla kind of wins. And that like somehow Kong kind of like dies, but then he gets revived by like a bolt of lightning, and then just suddenly has powers, and then just proceeds to bust ass, and then he just wins.
Well, that sounds like nonsense.
Yeah, it's 1963 nonsense. So here you might get something a bit different and probably a lot better than that. For the love of God, there's one point where they're literally just standing there, just like, I believe they're just chucking a fucking rock at each other. And it's completely stupid because it's just like a test of strength, but it's like, You guys know you have like another hour and 45 minutes to pad out, right? You don't have to throw this rock. All right, cool.
It's going to be Atomic Lizard versus like a Planet of the Apes with big axe. Like, I can tell you who wins.
Can you know?
So the axe is able to absorb the atomic blast, by the way.
Oh, of course it is. You got to give the stupid monkey a fighting chance.
Right? Just letting you know. Just letting you know. But hey, man, listen, Zilla's a big, thick boy. 4 C's.
Thick boy.
Right? That's right. 4 C's, and he'll get him. Don't worry about it. I'm not too worried.
And then you see the subtitles. Martha.
I swear to God, there's gonna be so many memes. I'm ready for the memes, so we'll come back here with the memes. I promise.
I want to see it. It's gonna be so good.
Save Mothra. What did you say her name? That's his
Why you
box
know her?
name.
Oh jeez.
From one action franchise to another.
Da, 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 da. John Wick. No, I'm joking. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, we go to the So you like the intro?
I like it. I'll go back and we'll have it as an alert. I promise.
Oh jeez.
But
yeah.
Before you continue, my apologies. SC Leohido in the chat, Axe is theorized to be a spine from Zilla. So smack nuclear power plant with nuclear spike. Great plan, flesh monkey.
Jesus.
Correct.
Well, that kind of makes sense if it can absorb all that, like, original generated power. So that would connect with everything.
I see where they're coming from, but also, flesh monkey, no think hard.
He did nothing wrong.
He's gonna try to beat a motherfucker with another motherfucker.
It's the biggest dinosaur he's ever seen in his entire fucking life. Right? So,
And he's used to eating those, basically.
yeah. Not something
I
this
would not
big.
be surprised if he takes a chunk out of Zilla.
Anyways. Now we go away from the big bosses and we go to big guns and big names. But sadly, for the John Wick 4 and 5 movies that are being made, which, yes, they're making a 4 and 5. I do not care because these movies are really good.
Wow. All right.
Really good. But nonetheless, with one of the writers, Derek Kolstad, who's on the bottom right here, is going to be leaving the team for that. So, it's been said that he was basically the major writer per se for the first 2 movies. So he was solo writing those 2, and then for the third one, Parabellum, which was like chapter 3 basically of the whole John Wick series. Yeah. He had some other team members such as Shay Hatton, Chris Collins, and Mark Abrams for that team. But it is basically it was kind of like they decided to just depart from each other in a sense.
Right. Okay.
So what happened is that a quote from him from Collider was saying, "No, it wasn't my decision. When you think of the contractually of these things, the third one I shared with the credit and any number of people. They didn't have to come back to me, and so they didn't." So at the same time, he doesn't feel any ill will, but he saw obviously progress of how the team had worked on the third one, and it's they don't need me. They got some other people that can write this out, so we'll keep on going. But yeah, that's a sad part about that. Which he did a good job for story writing for the first 2, which was really well done.
I have heard exactly 0 complaints about the writing of all 3 of those movies. All 3 were bangers back to back to back.
That's right. That's right.
So if they're prepared to take a team that didn't miss a single time and give it to a team that they believe will continue to not miss, good luck.
Yeah. Just gotta see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah. And then I don't know if they were making a John Wick series. I don't know if that's still even happening.
Excuse me?
Or is that just false news?
That's probably a little bit of the old fake-o news-o, because now that man is not only interacting and, doing the John Wick stuff, which from what I have been told and what I have read, he's heavily involved with on the production side.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't just show up to set. He's very, very involved in what that story is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Keanu had some other things in the news this week. And now with his hands full of all 3 of these projects, I imagine there's not going to be much time
Yeah.
for that in the near future anyway. Nothing says a couple years from now, when all these things exist, he will find some free time and away he'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm on board for. Give me more series to enjoy.
John Wick animated series done by the studio who brought you Castlevania.
Fuck me. Tell me you just made that up.
I just made that up.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I was going to be like, oh my God. Be like, no way. He found a headline as I was like whiffing about, and here he is with the headline proving me wrong.
No.
Red just scrolling through phones. Where's this news?
Yeah.
Where is it? Oh man. But yes, besides from talking about animated stuff, we go into the anime world, which, if you are a My Hero fan, season 5 is coming this Saturday, March 27th, in the US, Canada, UK, Mexico, and other regions as well. Sadly, though, for this Sunday or this coming following weekend, Attack on Titan will be ending with its final season, which will be the final episode this Sunday, and Jujutsu Kaisen will be ending with their first season, or sort of like a season finale per se. But we have at least My Hero and some other animes coming for this weekend and coming up weeks. So My Hero Academia will be coming with their first season, which is focused on the joint training arc, which basically sees Class 1A and Class 1B is how they're numbered, pitted against each other, and then you can see how like both classes have grown in their abilities, skill sets, and as heroes themselves. So it'll be an interesting arc for people who don't read the manga, but can see the action fully played out.
I got a question for you.
Yep.
Answer for you.
That third anime that's on screen, that's not Attack on Titan and not My Hero.
Jujutsu Kaisen, yes.
Thank you. I was going to screw up it. Thank you for saying it correctly.
I know.
What's that about?
So there's a lot of comparisons or parody of it, or that it kind of relates to, but the biggest comparison is to like Naruto in a sense. Kind of. But it's basically Jujutsu Kaisen is an animated series, I believe Korean. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But basically it's about curses. So based on I think I've talked with you a little bit, Shino, about this, but it was like they focus on like different curses, or like I guess like not shaman focus, but like I guess the different talismans and all that stuff. It's hard to kind of explain properly because it's like it's the proper Japanese like term or stuff like that is like I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they basically fight different curses. The main character with the red hair in the middle, Itadori, basically sees one of these like curses come to life or pop out at his school. And meanwhile, the other three around him. So Goju, which is the white hair boy looking Kakashi like, he is a pretty boy for most people that have seen him in the anime. The black hair guy, which is Megumi, I believe is the name. And later on, you'll see this short hair girl, which is we'll call her more helpful Sakura because I forgot her name. But yes,
because Sakura does nothing anyway.
Yes.
Can I just backtrack on something a little bit here?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The Starz John Wick TV series, The Continental, is still on track to premiere sometime following the fourth movie, which is dated May 21st, 2021.
Fuck off!
Oh?
I'm sorry, repeat?
Oh, he found an article and he proved me wrong is what he did.
and I'm reading off a deadline.
Repeat that deadline, sir.
The Starz John Wick TV series, The Continental, is still on track to premiere sometime following the fourth movie, which is dated for May 21st, 2021.
Let's go. I knew there was something about it.
God damn it. Listen, I'm kind of happy to be wrong because I'm kind of happy to be wrong because, that means more John Wick, but I thought it was right.
Well,
the news said no.
It's a thing.
I knew it existed. I just didn't have the information. Ooh, wait. Oh man. But yes, Jujutsu Kaisen basically school focusing on or a series of focusing on curses that come to life that inhabit from people's, I guess, emotions, mostly about like fear and all that stuff, and like depression, all those things. There's different schools that kind of focus it with the different students that can harness disability, like kind of like key energy, or per se like curse energy is what it's called, and then use that to fight in their different styles and all this stuff against these different curses. While Sukuna Itadori, the one in the middle, has a curse that he ate in one of the episodes and now has a curse living in him. So as the story goes, the more parts of this curse that he eats, because it's like one of the high grade curses, the more he basically gets stronger of it, or it helps fuel it. But he is like, in the sense of like Naruto, like he's a vessel in a sense, and it's just hosting the thing. But he's on his own. What they've shown mostly for this whole season, he's been really strong on his own. So
as pro tags will be.
Yes, but it is some great fighting action. Like the fight scenes, first episode, whoo, my god.
All right.
Duly noted.
Check it out.
Add it to the watch list right now.
There you go.
Before we segue into some more news from the rest of our hosts, what we're going to do is we're going to run ourselves a little bit of an ad break. If you don't wish to see the ad, the only way that you can skip the ads and still provide us with the ever so helpful things that the ads do, all you can do is subscribe to us with your Twitch Prime. If you have, or your Amazon Prime, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe 2 channels for free for the first month and contribute to the thing that makes Nerd Crusade continue to grow. With that, we will see you in exactly 60 seconds.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nicely done.
thank you.
So, yeah. So that's still on board, and there's supposed to be a spin-off film called The Ballerina.
God damn it.
I'm looking.
Damn.
and Reeves will be in the series too, off and on. It's supposed to focus on all the hitmen and assassins that stay at the Continental, and he'll be there.
And
to play
see,
his...
that makes sense. That's what I was
30
thinking. The
seconds.
series would be, because like if obviously like if he's focusing on other projects, let alone it would make sense that if either it's not focusing on him the whole time, or even barely or partially just showing him every now and then. Yeah, like that way if his character or something happens to him in general.
Yeah, it'll focus on the Baba Yaga beforehand, man.
10.
Okay.
Thank you.
Some good stuff then.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Got proof wrong though.
1.
All right, which I believe that brings us to my news for the week. So first up, this is in part just a reminder that the Justice Society World War II movie is coming out in April 27th, where it'll be available digitally, and then it's being released on Blu-ray and like 4K DVDs in May on the 11th, which I guess there are people who collect those. Red.
That's me. I'm the audience.
The reason you are the exact target audience on this one. The reason I can bring this up at all, of course, is because yesterday they dropped a new trailer snippet thing where we get to watch Barry Allen, the Flash, who has presumably time traveled to the JSA team for reasons, plot mostly, and he just punches the shit out of a bunch of Nazis, which we love to see.
And hey, we love to see it so much. Let's watch it together.
The reason we're looking for this, we're excited for this, obviously, because Red is a massive JSA nerd, but
it's what happens.
Also, but also because basically we're just getting to actually explore DC canon in an animated form. And look, say what you will about the Snyder Cut and about some of the more recent works they've done. DC movies are always going to be a mixed bag, but their animated universe is fucking solid. So frankly, I'm of the opinion that's where they should stay more often than not. But what do I know? I'm not a movie executive.
The only one that I would recommend not seeing is, I think it was like Young Justice versus Teen Titans or whatever they called that team.
Oh God, yeah, that one was bad and stupid.
Yeah. Besides that, go watch everything DC animated. Like the Apocalypse War. Spectacular.
That one's a bit rough though, so be ready.
That was Dynamite. I like that one.
Yeah. And it's brutal as all fuck.
They don't fuck around. Like, obviously, anyone who has taste knows that Justice League and Justice League Unlimited are great. But the Flashpoint movie, which I recently mentioned in our most recent episode where we went over all of the significant DC crises in celebration of our own 52nd episode.
Woohoo!
That one, you can actually just watch that movie and you get everything you need to know about Flashpoint, the event. It's kind of great. Justice League Dark, that movie was fantastic and an awesome introduction to all of these magic users that a lot of mainstream comic fans might not know because, magic stuff is sort of niche sometimes.
And one of the main big players in that movie, Zatanna, is getting her own movie because they just announced a director for it.
I'm gonna die of gay, just so you know.
Because I don't care who you put in the top hat and the thigh highs, I'm sold.
Terminal gay disease. But on a completely opposite note, because it's actually physically impossible to get horny for Nick Cage. Yeah, I know.
Says you,
I actually recently watched a horror movie with it in it, and Jesus. Anyway, so everyone here has seen National Treasure.
Yeah.
I would say, at least. They're not only are they making a third movie, which is somewhere in production as of January 2020, but they also have greenlit a TV show to head over to Disney Plus. Now,
I've got about 1,000 questions.
Nick Cage,
what?
Which is, in my opinion, a good start. It's going to follow a 20-year-old dreamer, so someone who got into the United States on a specific type of visa, for those who don't keep up with American immigration politics, which can't blame you, Jess Morales, which I haven't been able to find a casting for just yet, but that might be me being bad at Google. It happens. So she's going to go off on an adventure some way tied to her country of origin, doing national treasury type things with her friends, which cautiously optimistic. It's written by the people who wrote the first two movies, and it's directed by Mira Nair, who's behind Vanity Fair. It's going to be 10 episodes long, so it might be good, and they might get a second season depending on how it goes.
And no Nick Cage, you say, right?
From what I can tell, there's not going to be a Nick Cage focus, though it's possible he'll make a cameo.
Damn it.
I wouldn't bet on it though, because I have no idea how expensive Nick Cage is these days.
That's okay, as long as he doesn't show up, but thousands of moms will be disappointed everywhere.
I'm disappointed.
Are you suggesting that people are horny for Nick Cage? I will bonk you so hard you'll never escape horny jail.
You're gonna have to bonk the internet then.
I have a mother who's deeply into Nick Cage.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Nick Cage enough, but not like that. Damn.
I got like a mom-in-law who's also into Nick. In fact, she's got a whole library of Nick Cage movies.
Stop
on
it.
DVD. No, I'm not. You think I'm playing? You think I'm joking? But
I know you're not. But damn.
If either of them are into horror movies, I would recommend then Mandy, which you can watch on the HBO the Shudder extension of Amazon Prime in Canada. I don't know about other places. I don't know. Either way, it features Nick Cage. It's a weirdly 70s vibe kind of movie. He doesn't actually talk a lot in it. He starts off with kind of a lumberjack aesthetic. He has a breakdown in his underwear in a bathroom with 80s wallpaper. It's a lot.
Which
hand forges what appears to be a Star Trek bat'leth.
By the way, that bathroom scene apparently he was going through something. He was going through his...
You would have had to have been. Jesus Christ.
Cable Star Trek reference was so hype. You guys didn't catch it. I'm so disappointed in that.
Listen, she's talking about that big black weapon that they have in Big Bang Theory too.
I
didn't watch Star Trek. Wasn't my thing. I'm sorry.
I thank you for the reference. That was hilarious.
Yeah. So if you're into horror movies and Nick Cage, Mandy, can recommend. but be ready for a fucking trip.
Damn.
And that's all I brought for you guys this week.
All
I
right.
believe takes us to
My dumbass. Now, listen, okay? So, welcome to Comics Land. Strap in, stay a while. We're going to be here for a smidge. So, to start with the House of New Ideas, and by that I mean borrowed ones, Marvel has decided to break up their publishing house and no longer publish Marvel Comics through Diamond distributors.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that mean? As someone who doesn't follow.
So, now they are with Penguin Random House. And so, Variant Edmonton, they come around here a lot. So they're our local comic shop. They do a lot of the, like, all ages comics and the collector's editions and, like, the trades. That's their gig. They're also, last year, just after the Panorama started, and Diamond couldn't pay their bills and started to have to pay it 30% of the time each month to month, which isn't good for anybody's books, let me tell you. DC decided that it was hitting the exit button and killed that relationship in, like, May.
Damn.
Well, DC is one to usually lead the team. So, now comes the other one. Now Diamond will only distribute and send books to stores that are Image, Boom, Dark Horse, Xenoscope, I believe, still goes through them, Aspen Comics, you know, your smaller, you know, less than 8% of the pie that they make up the global market share of. But that also means that the figures that Diamond still made, comic shops around North America will still be able to get through Diamond. It's just that Marvel will not be putting priority to putting Marvel Comics through Diamonds. This puts a huge hole in Diamond's, like, the way their money came in. I expect in the next year or so, the fall of Diamond distributors. And all those licenses and all those everything to fall to either Penguin Random House or the other one that DC is with that I cannot pull off the top of my head.
Well, sometimes change is what's needed.
I'm glad you said that, because Diamond held a singular monopoly in distributing comics for all of North America for the last 35 plus years.
Damn.
Time to go, out with the old guard, man.
And after not paying their bills and, holding comics and then pushing back release dates on their own without checking with the publishers, yeah, it was time to hit the exit button.
Yeah.
But in a brighter note, I would like to wish a welcome back to Milestone Comics.
Yay.
Spinning out of the Milestone comic that was out, I want to say in November, and is digital now for free to go read on DC's website. Simply look up the title, Milestone Zero, and you can read it for free on DC's website to get yourself set up for the return of an absolutely epic DC side label. Bringing us back around to the first 3 titles that are coming out from Milestone. We've got Static Season 1. It is going to be written by Veda Ayala, Chris Cross, and Nicholas Draper-Ively, and goes on sale on June 15th. The second one is Icon and Rocket Season 1 by none other than the legendary voice actor and claim to fame for Milestone when it comes to announcing projects, Reggie Hudlin.
Wow, Reggie Hudlin's on it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Leon Chills and Doug Braithwaite That goes on sale July 27th. And finally, in this initial batch, Hardware Season 1.
Wow, they got some good. They pulled out the real the flagship guys from the original run of Milestone,
Absolutely.
and I guess use them as as the jumping start, which is good because those are the popular titles that ran Milestone for a long time.
Absolutely. Hardware Season 1 is done by Brandon Thomas, Denise Cohen, and the guy who helped draw the New Mutants over at Marvel and make them the tour de force that they were. Bill, I'll never say his name right. Sinkoezik.
Oh, I gotta see it again.
It is the dude who makes like very, very sharp lined artwork and does the New Mutants.
Yeah, I remember the art. I remember the art style. I gotta remember his name.
But the point is, our boys are coming home. They are going to be in print, in comics for the first time. Oh, and I want to say just about 12 or so years, if not 15. After being absorbed through crises and then not doing anything for a while and then slowly making their return with being in Young Justice, it was about time we'll come back. Hardware, for those unaware, is also the legendary place for a villain known as Holocaust. The bane of Shino's existence, Holocaust.
You mentioned that name in our house.
Oh, you don't understand because I brought this guy's name up earlier. Like, oh yeah, he's most likely gone now. He's got to be gone, right?
Yo, Milestone really said, "Hey, he's
back."
No,
literally, I had this conversation with Red just earlier. We were talking about where I just brought him up, like, yeah, he's written out of fucking existence. Nope.
Yeah.
And then I told the man, I looked this man dead in his eyes and said, "Hold on to that thought."
Yeah.
and I'm like, dot. Christ.
Yeah.
Oh
man, he never truly is gone.
Right. Yeah, I can't make any more sarcastic jokes using that name because I'm going to get in lots of trouble and Twitch right meta. So, with that in mind, I'm so glad all three of these comics exist. I will be picking them up. Honestly, that's July and August, halfway through July and the beginning of August. If you want to hear us talk about Static, Icon, and Hardware in that order, we've done several episodes featuring phenomenal black characters. Our first two-parter on the channel that we've actually completed besides Power Rangers. And also, you can find us here every Thursday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we review a comic at the end of our show. And you can bet your bottom dollar that we are going to do Static and Icon and Hardware in that fucking order.
Damn right.
Yeah, there's no way anything better is going to be coming out.
But hey,
by the way, his name is pronounced Bill Sienkiewicz.
My apologies, Bill.
Okay. And they really brought back Holocaust. Let's go.
They really did. But hey, speaking of that amazing thing we do at the end, near the end of our show, this week we put up on Twitter of 3 comics you all wanted to hear us talk about. Well, here we are. Sure did. Your choices were Carnage, Red, White, and Blood, Teen Titans Academy #1, the first appearance of Red X, but you guys didn't want that one. You guys wanted Alien from Marvel Comics.
And to be fair, Marvel's been hyping this up for months, including all of variant covers with people fighting the xenomorphs, which all look pretty fucking sick, actually. So, let's get into the book, huh? This one, for the record, is definitely, content appropriate for the topic. So, blood, gore, violence, it happens. We open up to a guy in a what appears to be some sort of pod or something, having a very deep monologue about darkness in some spooky black text bubbles. And we can see on the glass of the pod that it says, written from the other side, alien inside. And we find out that whoever the speaker is has been having nightmares about not just the xenomorphs, but about the xenomorph queen, and that they feel this queen is looking for them. We actually get a full page spread with some pretty fucking sick art, like immediately on the second one.
It's about to be on screen
Yeah,
about 3
cool.
seconds. Here it is.
Thank you, Red. It looks sick. I dig the art style here. I cannot emphasize that enough. Though
this book on art alone, that's a pickup.
Yeah, if you like Alien, you'll just want to look at this. Everything else set aside. But I gotta be real, I am not terribly impressed with the character we're fixating. Honestly, I wasn't even sure who he was right off the bat because, you know, you go from movies to page and you sometimes lose pieces of the actor in between. But we are following... God, where's his fucking name? He's talking to one of the...
Gabriel Cruz.
Oh, so not Ripley. Okay, go on.
Yeah,
no,
not Ripley.
A couple points in my book, I'll admit. But yeah. I think that's why they started off with the cool art, to kind of get you interested rather than to start off with this plain white guy.
All right.
And he's in space in the middle of a therapy session with the therapy bishop bots. And he's, you know, talking about his issues or whatever. And we get the exposition that he works for Weyland-Yutani and he's retiring, sort of, kind of, not exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We get this whole big fancy speech thing where, in honor of his retirement, someone's talking about all the good he's done and how this station, the Epsilon station, wouldn't exist without his hard work. It's also a white guy who uses the word hombres. And I was like, oh God. And this guy insists that don't believe all the conspiracy theorists, the detractors, and the naysayers. Weyland-Yutani are the good guys.
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Because that's the sound that every good guy makes. That's what every good guy says.
So Cruz is retiring to go to Earth sort of retiring. To go to Earth to spend more time with his remaining son, because one of his previous sons was fucking murdered by aliens or something.
Oh.
Not yet disclosed. We get a page of exposition, basically just, you know, saying what you need to know if you haven't seen the movies. And we find out that this was written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, with the art by Salvador LaRocca. So, thanks, Salvador. Thank you.
Yeah, so the little bit of a timeline we have is in 2122, what I imagine is Alien 1 happens.
Yeah, okay.
Then in 2179, I imagine Hadley's Hope. Is that Alien 2? They build a colony. They attempt to rescue the colony.
Yes.
Okay,
I always forget the name of it, yes, but that's it, yeah.
So this is about, 21 years later. This is where we are. In the year 2200, following this schmuck of a guy that was in... that still wants to control the spaceways with this company.
Yeah. And we know he was in one of those incidents because he's getting all these fucking flashbacks about it. So we then cut to some guy in a future car with his girlfriend, partner, whatever, because we know this because they kiss and they keep calling each other baby. And basically it's Cruz's son who's here to steal something from his nightstand. And that's it.
Because, fun fact, his son is full-on anti-establishment.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, in part because his brother, Lucas, died in some sort of Weyland-Yutani project, though, again, not specified.
Instructions unclear.
Cotton toaster? Anyway, so Cruz tries to relate to him kind of, but in like the worst ways possible, And it lasts like 2 pages of sort of stilted dialogue before his son Danny runs off to the quote-unquote bathroom while his dad stares at some old photos and stuff and feels weird. He then goes to find his son, to find him not leaving the bathroom, but his bedroom instead. And his son is like, actually, I'm leaving right now. I don't want to be here anymore. And he's like, are you fucking kidding? You just got here. And they have a whole stupid fight. And then his son leaves. And he's just like, I guess I'm a fail dad with my cringe son. That's not what he says.
But that's in essence what goes down. I mean,
I gotta be honest, this is a 36-page book. This takes like 6 or 7 pages. It's not particularly interesting because I don't care about these 2 white dudes or their man pain.
So Gabriel's son escapes with what is essentially a solid
data chip.
Sure.
I don't know.
What is essentially just, you know, a 2200 version of a USB stick.
And he and his girlfriend fuck off. And then we get a flashback to Gabriel Cruz and the rest of his crew in a hive, it looks like, where the one guy who appears to be still capable of speech is talking about how he actually shouldn't be here because he took leave days and was supposed to be on vacation right now. And
sucks to suck, my
dude. The guy
dude.
who's supposed to be here got sick, so he got pulled in instead. And he's like, please, I don't want to die here when I'm not even supposed to be here.
That page is on screen currently.
Also pretty. Also very, very pretty.
Like just the shadow work and the line work and the just color. Like looking at the for a minute, we're gonna pause the plot here.
Yeah.
Just in the top right hand corner where they're like the men are stuck there. That for some reason is textured. I can taste it. It's so weird to me.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, like this is visceral imagery. You feel this. It's incredibly well done, and it does in fact make up for the boring white dudes. I'll be real. So, speaking of, we go back to stupid therapy, but this time with a slightly different robot who tries to give him some advice for connecting with his son, and is like, hey, you should tell him that you're sick and also about like the fucked up stuff you saw in space or something. And he's like, don't want to do that though. And then we cut to the space station again in March.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a security room. Some dude's playing with his cat that he shouldn't have brought to space, but it's here.
It's a cute cat though, I'll be real.
It's a real fucking cute cat. I love that cat. It might be named Stubbs. I'm not sure.
Pretty sure it is.
Yes, yeah. Stubbs.
Yes, Stubbs. Get it, Stubbs.
Get it, Stubbs. So they're just him and his coworker. They're shooting the shit. She's talking about how she can't wait to get back to Earth and just go grocery shopping. But a weird undocumented thing docks and it registers as a maintenance drone. But that's not how maintenance drones dock. It's weird. So she's like, I'm gonna check it out. The door opens and she immediately gets shotgun blasted to the face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they put 3 rounds into the other dude. For the record, on this page there's a hilarious picture of the cat looking spooked. I think that's great.
Perfect. In fact,
does not get
perfect.
shot. Yeah, it's wonderful. The cat is like exclamation point tail, total curve body, 10 out of 10. So the dude gets shot, and it turns out this is Danny, the fuck my dad kid, and his girlfriend. And he's like, why did you just shoot that guy? We literally brought restraints. And she's like, he was reaching. We get a choice, baby. And it's like, whoa, all right. So they steal the security bands, sync them to their little Fitbits or whatever, and then they go walking through the space. And they get to the lab, and they're like, yeah, we're going to blow up some servers. We're going to be rebels. And then it's full of fucking weird alien things in tubes. And they're like, this isn't what we were expecting to see.
What it appears to be is alien humanoid hybrids of some variety or another.
Yeah. They look kind of monkeyish, kind of xenomorphy. It's weird. And they're like, well, we can still blow this up. But there's a door labeled number sequence alpha. And they're like, hey, why can't we get in this door? And some scientists show up and they're like, hey, we cannot let you through that door.
Yeah, under no circumstance do you understand how guns work. yes.
And then
Don't care
one
anyway.
of the scientists verbally says a code to lock down the entire station, it looks like. At the very least, the lab, but it's not clear. She gets shot. They also break open one of the tubes, and then another one of the tubes breaks out as we cut to very dramatic red lighting, even more fancy shadows. It, again, cool as fuck. There's a siren going off. People are yelling and screaming. There are a lot of very, very clear noises and cries happening as something's going on, but it's not entirely clear what, because, dark, spooky, misty. And then we cut to some guy pinned to the ground with a face hugger, and Mr. Danny going, "What the fuck?" And we get a repetition of some of the narration from the beginning spooky monologue about darkness. And it ends with the shot of a face hugger jumping towards him, and then a completely black panel.
Oh.
Now,
In
I might
space.
be underselling how cool this last section looks,
Uh-huh.
but it sure fucking does.
It's on screen.
The shift from all the cool blues and this sort of blasé attitude about everything to it's so dramatic. And we all have that, oh god, what have they unleashed feeling, where they're going, oh, what the fuck is happening? And looking over these panels, it's so well done, because from top to bottom you get like the character's face, and the panel below is the back of their head, and you follow the action across, and there's a gun pointing up across the panel, which connects to the arm of a person in the panel below who's reaching up as they get attacked. And from below, on the far right, there's a guy going, oh god, which follows the line of some sort of tail thing to the next thing, which connects to the top of the next guy's head.
I want to tell you all,
if
you have any interest in being comic artists or artists of any kind, this is a book to study and just peruse over.
It's so pretty.
This is a book that I, speaking for myself, thoroughly enjoyed, like the personal relationship. It felt like a movie that was like, it felt like page 1 of a script, which is A, cool, and B, not cool that Hollywood, that, writers are doing this to comics, but whatever. Say la vie. This specific panel, sorry, Shino?
I was gonna say, hey man, well, I mean, you gotta give us some kind of reading material, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? If this is how people get their shot into Hollywood, I'm gonna shut my big fat trap.
There you go.
Agreed.
Yeah, if it works, it works, right?
I love the design of the face hugger in the very, very last scene.
It's so good.
It is
in space. Nobody can hear you scream.
Exactly.
This series is one to watch. Not just because, I'm not overly invested in any of these characters, but I shouldn't be. This is an aliens story. These are all gonna fucking die except the cat. I don't know what to tell you other than it's gorgeous to watch, and it really does feel like one of those movies put on page.
Yo, man, I'm gonna have to go watch Aliens all over again just because.
What we would recommend is A, buy this book. Hard sell for us. B, definitely check out the other 2 books that we're going to talk about. That is Carnage, Red, White, and Blood, which is specifically done in red, black, and just deep whites. And also Teen Titans Academy if you liked your Teen Titans show from 2005. Final word on the book, Table.
I think I might also have to go rewatch some of the Alien movies now, honestly. Yeah.
Aliens, man, that's the one.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well,
get away from her, you bitch.
Oh.
the best movie, man.
Agreed. If you want to hear more of us or want to vote on the next book that we read exactly next week, you can catch us on Twitter at Crusade Nerd. You can catch us on Instagram where we're throwing the same poll at Nerd Crusade. You can find our sister show, the show that we have successfully done 52 episodes weekly. Woo! With 53 already in the bag. Wherever podcasts are found, that's your Spotify, your Apple iTunes, or whatever Podchaser thing you decide to use this week. What we ask of you, your call to action, is we ask you to rate 5 stars. Not only does that help us in the algorithm on all of your platforms, but it helps more people find the show, and we can do more exciting things like show you trailers without getting struck by YouTube. That won't be so bad.
They'll kill us all.
Jesus.
If you would like to find more of us, you can find us on those platforms. And we will catch you all next week. But before we say goodbye, we are going to send you all to Variant Edmonton. Variant Edmonton is our local comic shop. And they are going to be going deeply into the Marvel comics and exactly what that means and exactly what happened to them. So go there, tell them we sent you, and have yourself a good night.
And everybody.
Peace.
Thanks for dropping by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nice. I want to immediately abandon.